welcome to this short instructional video on VAT Submission and Nolan Cloud Services. I'm Andy Hall, I'm the support manager here at Nolan's Business Solutions, and for my sins I've been tasked with producing this video to slightly demystify the whole making tax digital solution, and just to help you get an idea of what the prerequisites are for the solution, so you've got all your ducks in a row before you have a conversation with us, make it a bit more of an efficient process. So Microsoft Dynamics GP and Making Tax Digital. What is Making Tax Digital? HMRC, as of April, for relevant organisations, require that VAT is submitted digitally. So it's no longer are you going to be able to log onto the website and fill in your 9 boxes. From that point onwards, you have to upload your VAT electronically. The idea is that it's end-to-end from your ERP financial reporting system straight into HMRC with no fiddling in between. How are we going to do this? Well, Microsoft have released a hotfix. It is now out there. It's available for Customer Source to download. If you haven't got a Customer Source login, talk to your partner. They should be able to provide you with one, or talk to your partner and they can download the same stuff for you from Partner Source. So what does this hotfix do? Well, to start with, you have to be on one of the supported versions of Microsoft Dynamics GP. So we're talking Dynamics GP 2016 or Dynamics GP 2018, and there are 2 versions of those. And also you need to be using the VAT return mechanism within the Microsoft Dynamics GP product. So simply what their hotfix does is allows you to run your VAT return, do the final return, at which point all of the 9 fields become editable and you can put whatever you like in them, and then when you hit the print button, it then takes that and submits it up to HMRC. That's it in a nutshell. But of course you do need to be on the GP 2016 or above, and you do need to be using the VAT return. If you don't fit inside that small sort of set of criteria, then you're not going to be able to use the Microsoft hotfix. So here at Nolan's Business Solutions, we've come up with an answer for all those people that don't fit in that bracket. So we are producing our own Making Tax Digital solution. It's called VAT Submissions, and it's going to be pushed out through our new platform, Nolan Cloud Services. So in the future we'll be producing a lot more items as a SaaS model on Nolan Cloud Services. VAT Submissions is the first of these. Our VAT Submission solution is the only Microsoft Dynamics GP solution currently recognised by HMRC on their website. I'll just time date stamp that now because this video may be up a little bit longer, and it's now currently the 15th of February, and at this point we are the only one on HMRC. So we have our product, Microsoft have their product. Our product will work for people that are on Microsoft Dynamics GP 2010 and above. Okay, so there is light at the end of the tunnel. What do you need to be able to use our product? So first of all, Dynamics GP 2010 or above. We're producing a single entity linkage, and we're also producing VAT groups. Okay, so the Microsoft hotfix doesn't do VAT groups, we do VAT groups. So again, that's one of the criteria that will be available via our link. And you'll notice here that I've got 2 different sets of terminology. I've got a link and a bridge. So the link is the direct from your VAT Daybook report into HMRC, and a bridge is a bridging option via an Excel spreadsheet for those that the link won't work with. Why are we using the VAT Daybook and not the VAT return? Reason being is you have no control over what went in the VAT return. It simply brought everything through that had a tax detail ID. The VAT Daybook report is more configurable. you decide which tax detail IDs are updating which boxes in your reporting, etc. So it gives you a little bit more control. So you need to be Dynamics GP 2010, you need to be using the VAT Daybook to be able to use the link, and we are available to do individual entities or VAT groups. If you're using Nolan's Advanced VAT, then again we are able to accommodate that with our link, etc. If you're on Nolan's Advanced VAT, you need to be on version 2015 and above, not 2010. So there were some changes to the way that VAT reported and its use of the Daybook, etc. Those came in from our 2015 product onwards, and you may just need to be on the latest version of that, but that's a very quick update. What we're charging for this? Well, we're charging £250 per VAT entity per year. So a VAT entity is your registered ID with the VAT man. You can have one per company in GP. You might have several companies set up within one, or as I say, you might have multiple companies. So for each one of those IDs that you need to register with the VAT man, that's an entity, and we'll charge you £250 for that per year. And if you've got a VAT group, that's made up of individual companies, we're only charging you the £250 for the VAT group. Okie dokie. So what do you need to do? Well, first things first, you need to make sure you've got all these prerequisites we've been talking about. So do you have the Advanced VAT module, and have you got VAT Daybook installed? So these are two of the questions that you need to answer. So obviously Advanced VAT 2015 and above, and VAT Daybook, are you using it? Because the electronic VAT reporting's got to come from somewhere. So how do we check if we've got the VAT Daybook installed? So you can go off and we can check if it's in use and whether it's being used or not. Check and see if it's configured. If it's configured, great, you can use our product. If it's not, you can still use our product, but you need to configure it if you want to use the link. Remember, we've got a link and a bridge. And we can do that for you, or you may want to do it yourself. It's a fairly simple process. If you contact support, they'll be able to send you a document that tells you how to set up the VAT Daybook and configure that. If you aren't happy doing that yourself and you'd like to our help doing that, we can do that as a chargeable piece of consultancy for you. In these circumstances, please contact sales@nolansbusinesssolutions.com, or you can phone us on 01252 811 663, and we'll quite happily give you a quote and arrange for the consultancy to do that. If it's already installed, step one, go and have a quick look. So if you go to Help About Microsoft Dynamics GP, and an additional, there'll be an option there. It's About VAT Daybook, and as you can see circled on the screen in red there, we've got a version number, so that's a good indication you've got the VAT Daybook installed. The next thing to do is check and see if you're actually using it. So if you go into Administration, Setup, Use VAT Daybook, you can see that you'll have a tick box there for each of the companies that you've got in Microsoft Dynamics GP, and if it's ticked, then that company is set up to use VAT Daybook. Now please, 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 please don't just go and tick these on a whim to see what happens. If you do, you'll start getting messages pop up every time you try and post a transaction saying that the default report for VAT Daybook hasn't been configured, etc. So there is some configuration to do after this. If you tick this and untick this, even though you're now no longer using VAT Daybook, it will still require those default reports to be ticked and set up. So it's not as simple as just unticking it to make those messages go away. We have to actually do a little bit behind the scenes, and we have had a couple of support calls on this already. So please, 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 if they're not ticked at the moment, don't just tick them. please talk to us about setting up the VAT Daybook first before you go down that route. But as you can see here, we've got one company that's ticked and one that isn't. You don't have to have all your companies ticked. Some can use VAT, some you might be completely VAT exempt and they don't have to report on. Some might be foreign businesses and not subject to UK legislation, etc., and therefore don't need to use the VAT reporting. So you only need to tick it and then configure it for the companies that you want to use. And if you do have that tick box ticked, it's worth going in then and having a look at the VAT reports themselves, etc., to see if they are there and they are bringing information through. They still might need a little bit more configuration. As I hinted at earlier, you can set which tax details go into which of the 9 boxes, etc., with that VAT Daybook report. Okay, so as we said, if your VAT Daybook is not configured, again, contact our sales team, sales@Nolan Business Solutions, or 01252 811 663 on the phone, and we can either send you some instructions or we can arrange for some consultancy to do that yourselves. Okay, I've got all my prerequisites. I really like the idea of Nolan Cloud Services. How do I sign up to this? Well, quite simply, go to www.nolancloudservices.com and you can sign up for free. You have the ability to create a free trial account there. So you can go on here, put in your details, sign up, you've got access to the system. You can start looking at VAT entities and how it all works and VAT submissions and stuff. What you won't be able to do on the free trial is actually physically submit your tax to HMRC. To be able to do that, you need to phone up our sales team or a finance team and say, I'm really happy with this. I would like to actually take it on to the next step, and at that point we'll take a payment for £250 per entity and enable the whole thing, which will allow you to then set up the connection with HMRC themselves, and off you go, jobs are good. So if you want any more information about that one, you can go to our website and there's extra instructional videos, etc., and there's some screenshotted steps that take you through setting up Nolan Cloud Services. Right, I'm a little bit worried. I can't use the link. I'm not using VAT Daybook. I don't have all these other things set up. What am I going to do? Don't panic, there's a plan B. So as I mentioned earlier, we do have a bridging option as well. So the bridging option is the ability to put your 9 figures, because that's all VAT submission is at the end of the day, into a spreadsheet and submit it up to HMRC through our Cloud Services portal as well. So if you sign up and you create an entity, you can change the submission method from the link to the Excel spreadsheet, and once you do that, it will actually enable you to download a sample spreadsheet. So you can download a sample spreadsheet, you can put your 9 figures in there, re-upload the spreadsheet, and that's it, your figures are in. If you like that, you can then go ahead and we can submit to HMRC once we've enabled the account as a full live account. Word of warning on this though, obviously as we mentioned at the start, the whole point of making tax digital is at the end of the day it's going to be system talking to system. So at some point in the future, HMRC will be looking to phase out these kind of Excel upload bridging methods. They do want the systems to talk to each other, but it's only taken across the 9 figures at the end of the day. I've had several conversations with people who are a little bit worried that HMRC wanted every single transactional piece of information coming across for the tax. That's not the case. It is just the 9 figures that are going over. Once they're in our system, if you've got multiple companies, that's where you can do the VAT grouping, so you can upload multiple spreadsheets, put them together in a VAT group. Same with the link, you can have multiple links from multiple companies, put them together in a VAT group, and make sure you're happy with it before you submit to HMRC. Right, so that's us. I'll just go over the contact information again. So we've obviously, you can sign up for your trial account at nolancloudservices.com, email us on sales@nolansbusinesssolutions.com, or phone us on 01252 811 663. If you just want to have a chat about it, by all means call support on the normal line or the line below. We've got chatbots on the website that actually come through to us in support as well. We can talk you through the Making Tax Digital solutions and what's suitable for you. But at the end of the day, it's all fairly simple. Hopefully we've caught most people's requirements there. Again, check on the prerequisites. If you can do that before you have a conversation with us, it's going to make life a lot easier and a lot smoother. And by all means, create yourselves a trial account and have a look around Nolan Cloud Services. I've been Andrew Hall. Thank you very much for your time, and please do contact us if you'd like some more information about cloud services and making tax digital. Thank you.